All right, what's up, guys? We are going to get into video editing for video games, and we're basically going to do start to finish. I'm going to break this down in a couple of videos. And the first one that we're going to talk about is creating the new project and importing media. Okay, so what you want to do is just hit the new button right there. It's going to bring you up new project settings. So there's a couple of things that you want to know. This is in 1080p full HD. I normally always do it in 1080p full HD to get the best quality possible in 60 frames per second. The next thing is duration. I normally go with about 40 minutes of duration. This is really important though, because I know as video game players, when you stream, you want to bring your literal stream from your whatever, from Twitch or wherever you streamed it, into here, and it could be like 6 hours long. I don't recommend doing that. That is really if you have like the best graphics card out. With these graphics cards, you know, it takes a long time to render. So if you don't have something that's really good, for instance, I have a 1650 Super. I don't have the best graphics card in the market. So in order for me to get videos in there, and it's not taking hours upon hours for me to get those in there, you know, I shorten up the videos to about 40 to 50 minutes, and that way I can put them in there and they can render pretty quick. So we're just gonna put the duration at about 40 minutes here. So you got milliseconds, seconds, minutes, and hours. So we're just gonna select it. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna select 40 minutes, 1 second, and 5, whatever. Doesn't really matter, but as long as we got 40 minutes there. The video width and height of the pixels, which will be 1920 at 1080, which is the 1080p, but that's really the viewer box that you're looking at, and that's what the viewer box size is going to be at 60 frames per second, square pixels. Sample rate is going to be 4800 hertz, not going to change any of that. So we're going to go ahead and click OK, and this should take us into our editor. With this tends to take a little bit of time for it to load up into here. Like I said, if you have a better graphics card, it's going to be a little bit quicker, but we'll go ahead and come back as soon as the editor loads up. Okay, so here we have the editor, and with this editor here, I talked about in the previous video about all these panels. We're just going to focus on the media panel here. The first thing you want to do is we're going to create the project. So go into File, go into Save As, and we're just going to go ahead and name the project. These are the other projects that I have. One that you want to focus on is GIF Cut. That's where I cut up all the GIFs that I may use potentially in a different project. So I'll cut them up and then I'll reload them into whatever project that I'm trying to use them in. But we're just going to call this Santa's tutorials. Okay, that's going to be the name of this project. We're going to go ahead and save it. The reason that you do this, once again, I'm going to talk about it all the time, is you want to save time. This is going to be a real good time saver. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click the import button, and we're going to import media, and we're just going to go to our videos here. So this is our video library. Okay, and what you want to do is there's a couple of different ways that you can import media. You can import from the internet, or you can import videos that you've put in. So we're just gonna go into Santa's vids here, which would be under David, and we're gonna go to videos that I imported, and we're gonna go with Toxic Child. We're just gonna open up Toxic Child. So this is the video, and as you can see, it is 30 minutes long. You see how quick it loaded up. And the next thing is we want to actually add into our media section a couple of different things. We're going to go ahead and go into sound effects. So we want to add sound effects here. Go to our videos, and I already have some sound effects that I've already preloaded on there, and I'll show you shortly later in the video on how to import sound effects from the internet. So we're going to take these sound effects, just hit Control, and we're going to select a couple of sound effects. All right, select those, hit open. So what you're going to do is you're going to see all these sound effects that I just loaded into the editor. And in order to save time and save space, what you're gonna do is you wanna create the folder. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my camera here so you can actually see the box down at the bottom. So this is the folders tab down here at the bottom left. So we're gonna select that. We're gonna name this sound effects. Sound effects EC. All right, enter. And same thing that you did here, you just want to select and hit control so you can select all these items. And then we're just gonna click on one of the items, drag it, as you can see the cursor, and drag it into sound effects. The reason that I did that is because I can hit this little down arrow button and it will close out and all my sound effects are in there. Okay, I'm gonna hit file and then save because we already saved it as the project. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we want to import some music as well, because I want to put, I like it. As you can hear, I have music on the background of this video here. You want to have some music in the background that's going to play. So we're going to go ahead and import media, and then we'll go back to our videos because this is where I have it. And then we're going to go to the music, open it up, and we're just going to control, just add those two, open it up. Okay, same thing, click the folder, call it music, hit enter, then control select, drag it into music. So we can go ahead and close it out. So now we have music, we have sound effects, and then we can import gifs. And normally gifs are going to come from, here, let me turn my camera back on. All right, so gifs are going to come from the internet. Okay, so what you're going to do is two ways that you can do this. You can go ahead and select Google Chrome. We're going to go ahead and go to YouTube. And in here, if you want a short GIF, you can just type in something where it's going to be a GIF. We'll just set, so we're just going to type into the Google search, or the YouTube search. We're going to get DBZ GIFs. It's DBZ space GIF. Okay, hit enter, and it's going to bring up a ton of different things. We just want to look for a short video around 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, so we got this one right here, which is DBZ GIFs. All right, short, let's get something else. Okay, right here, 8 seconds. DBZ GIF, Kamehameha, whatever. Okay, so how are we gonna get that? So we're just gonna hit the plus button. We're gonna select YouTube, and we're going to go and type in YouTube converter. All right. Now the link for this will be down in the description for this specific one that I use. We're gonna go ahead and select it. It's just called a YT MP3 video converter. And it has two different ways that you can rip the video. You can either do an MP3 or MP4. If you do the MP3, it's gonna be just the audio. If you do the MP4, it's gonna be the video and the audio, depending on what you want. So we'll go back here. We'll just select and hold this so I can actually drag this around. We'll hover over that one and we'll drop it in the box. Okay, click the MP4, click convert. Takes about 2 seconds, it's not long. All right, it's doing its thing, loading up the video, and now it's ready. So I just want you to pay attention. Okay, download and play now. It says advertising. Quick tip, any website you go on, just check and see if it says advertising underneath it. Do not click those two. Okay, click this right here, which is going to be the download button. Sometimes it will redirect like that. It just redirected me. Just go ahead and hit the X, and as you can see, hold on, let me turn off my camera one more time. Here, as you can see at the bottom here, that is exactly where that's at. We'll go ahead and hit show in folder, and in my videos I actually have a folder that says GIF. So I'll just go ahead and select that, put that in my videos, select my videos. Here we'll look for the one that I just had. We'll open that box up so I can see it, and we will go ahead and drag that right into the GIFs. Okay, so now it's in the GIFs, and the reason that you want to do that is because when you go into here, when you go back to your hit film, okay, in order to put it in a folder in here, it has to stay exactly where it's at. All right, So when I go to import, now I have it in my folders. I can import the media. I can go to my videos. Let's go ahead and go to my gifs, and we'll look for the GIF we just downloaded right there. GIF, open it up. The reason that like I say, you want to specifically do this is because if I move the file, if I move this file from my GIFs, let's go to video, and let's say I move it from where it is and I pick it up and I drag it there, what's gonna happen is wherever I put it in here, it's actually going to lose it and you have to import it again. So just make sure that you're creating a folder in your Windows in order to keep it into HitFilm. And I'll show you here in a second exactly what I'm talking about. So we're gonna go ahead and create the new folder. I'm gonna call it GIFs. GIFs. Select it, put it in the GIFs. Okay, so that is in GIFs right now. So if I take this, and we're gonna go back to our GIFs here, and I select it and put it in there, it says it can't be completed because it's open. But what will happen is if HitFilm was closed, it will actually let you move that because it's not currently using it. So we're just gonna go ahead and go to File and Save. Okay, so we've saved this. Now we have GIFs, we have music, we have sound effects, and then we have our actual video game that we're going to play. Now this is going to be really, really important, and I'm going to show you here. If I X out in the box, let's X off of HitFilm Express. All right, so HitFilm Express is closed out. We'll go ahead and reopen it. You know, then like I said, this is all about time, right? Another instance is running. Give it a second. It normally takes a second to close out. All right, HitFilm is there. So when you go back into your project that you created, called Santa Tutorial, once it loads back up, give it a second. Okay, so it loaded up, and as you can see, everything that we created, the GIF is there, music is there, sound effects is there. Okay, so all of that stuff is there. If you do see a little exclamation point triangle thing here with one of these, it's just because you moved the file location. That's all that means, that you have to re-import the media that you wanted to get. So we're gonna go ahead and close that out, and that's pretty much it for importing media. The last little tip that I will give you is normally if you want to add GIFs, you don't have to necessarily add GIFs, but I will just type in 2020. I like to keep current GIFs on my videos, 2020 funny GIFs, something like this. And then just go in and watch a couple, see if you like any of the GIFs. I normally try and take as many as I can. So if I watch this video of 10 minutes and let's say it has 20 GIFs and I want to add those GIFs in, I would just rip it back to my MP3 converter, go back into my HitFilm. I will go into my project like I showed you before called GIF Cut. I would cut them up individually, and then I would export them individually in order to put them in this file of project that I can use later. And we will show you how to do that on a different video. But that's pretty much it for the media, importing the media side of it. And we're going to go ahead and get into the next one, which I believe is going to be editor.